Hey everybody, it's your wingman. Coming back, episode number two. Here we are. We want to talk something about something that's, well, everybody has to go through it. Men, women, young, old, doesn't matter. Rejection and how to handle it, how to give it. Um, and this can apply to dating, it can apply to your career or friendships or pretty much anything. It can handle sports. Yeah, so we want to talk about it because I think it's a big issue, or it's always going to be an issue and a good topic. And
Mm.
if you can handle rejection, it's going to make you a lot more, stronger in life. Really.
Yes, the more you can go through life accepting rejection, I think that's actually important. Acceptance, because if
Yeah.
you're okay with failing or not getting what you want at the beginning, then you just persevere and you keep persevering, and eventually you're going to achieve whatever it is that you want. Most people get rejected and they stop trying, and that's
Mm,
what makes them quit.
that's
But
true.
if you know how to accept the rejection, how to accept the failure, then you can try again and come back at whatever it is that you were doing in the first place and learn from the experience, from what got you rejected in the first place, and then try out new things, explore new avenues until you get to wherever it is that you're going. Eventually, if you keep trying and being perseverant, you will get it. What do you
Mhm.
think?
I agree. Yes. Failure is just part of life, and looking back on my successes and failures, yeah, successes are great, but really the growth and the learning comes from failing, falling on your face, getting rejected, losing, whatever it might be. Um, a quick story. Back when I was young, about fourth, fifth grade, I used to play
Mm-hmm.
organized, like a kind of a rec basketball with a bunch of friends. We're all same age,
Mm-hmm.
and we would practice, and we did okay in practice. And I played at home, and we had a basketball hoop, and I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we sucked as a team. I'm going to be honest with you. We sucked a lot. We lost a lot of games. And in fact, they got into, like, eventually the season ended and we were in the loser bracket or whatever, like the loser tournament.
Oh,
And then
wow.
on a couple of those games, we got to the championship of the loser bracket, and then we just got hammered. And this was
Mm-hmm.
back in the 90s, by the way, when they actually had the scoreboard and you could see the score. Like, not
Right.
today, like everybody wins or everybody ties.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew we were getting pummeled, and it sucks looking back on it, but those were I didn't know it at the time, but those were good lessons to have, because you're not going to always win. You can't just always have it handed to you. And
Mm.
so, I don't know. Did you play sports growing up? Did you have any kind of like that growing up?
Yeah, man. And I was kind of chubby as a kid,
Oh.
and so that of course never helped me be very athletic when I was
Yeah.
younger.
Mm.
And I had to fail a lot back then. And every time it felt terrible. And I didn't know any better. I was giving up on lots of things because in my mind, failure was final, rejection was final. But I
Do you
didn't know
think
any better. I was a little boy, and I had no mentorship. I had nobody that told me, hey, you shouldn't stay there. There is a way that you can navigate and find other alternatives to your problem. Again, I didn't have anyone to say that to me, and I had to start looking for those answers myself through books, through videos, movies, perhaps.
Mentors, adults.
But like I said, Shane, I had no one to go to. So as I grew older, I had to start looking for, for those role models on my own. But I
Yes.
didn't even know what they look like or who they might be, because I had no idea that there were other ways to improve yourself, to stop thinking of rejection as a final. But I'm glad that I started discovering, all these motivational speakers. There's a lot of YouTube celebrities that I look up to that helped me in my journey. So YouTube was part of how I started changing that belief about rejection, because of all the people that I was listening to at the time. So
Let me ask you, can I ask you a personal question
of
about some
course,
stuff?
of course.
You said you were kind of a chubby kid. Do you feel like
Uh,
people were rejecting you because of your appearance?
yes, sir. Pretty much.
Yeah,
I
because
didn't like myself.
yeah.
I had low self-esteem.
Mhm.
I saw myself as somebody unworthy of the
The French.
friendships and even the attention of women at the time. As I transitioned into becoming a teenager, I started noticing women, but I didn't think they really noticed me much. And so that just made things worse, because I was very self-deprecating and just a lost teenager, right? A lost kid that didn't know any better. But again, it's a self discovery journey, and that's what it was for me back then. I had to self discover myself and change that mindset, that belief about who I was at the time and the possibility that I could become someone better.
Yeah, the reason I bring that up is because I have a feeling a lot of us, myself included, we were all teased as a kid, or we had something about us we didn't like. We all know kids can be cruel, especially like in the playground or middle school, especially hormones, and you start liking girls and girls start liking boys, and it's complex time. and I wanted to kind of bring that up because yeah, all that stuff happened, but what do we, 20 some years later, look at you now. You've gotten those social skills. You're physically fit, you're in good shape, you take care of yourself, and you've got a lot of massive confidence that you didn't have before. So that's kind of why I brought that
Thank you, man. Yes, I'm a hot motherfucker now, but
up.
it's taking me a lot of work. It's taking me a lot of discipline, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
I
So
think our
I
proof. Just kidding.
what's up?
I think our audience might need proof. Just kidding.
Sure,
No,
yeah, no, I have
no.
all the proof on my social media account. Of course, I try
Oh,
not to get too, attached to that image I'm creating right now, because at the end of the day, I know that more than the external, it's that inner confidence.
yes.
It doesn't have to be anything that I show off, that it doesn't have to be anything visual. You need to feel it from within. And that's what's really important. What nobody sees, but what you can feel is what's going to determine, how successful you are in the end.
Well, and just being okay with yourself, all your flaws. Now, it's kind of a slippery slope. You don't want to just let yourself go, but know that you're not perfect and just be okay with that. You know.
Right. I mean, we're never going to be perfect, but
Yeah.
it's in our attempt to achieve perfection
Yes.
that we improve ourselves. And I don't think anyone should stop doing that. Stop looking to develop themselves and reach the next level. I think that's our mission in life. I think that's what we're here for, to
I think,
find, you know, to find
well,
ourselves and to make ourselves into the best version of who we can be. I'm sorry for cutting you off. What's up?
no, that's my bad. I was gonna say, and that's kind of why you and I are here right now doing these videos and this podcast, because there's a lot of people who want to improve. Maybe they truly do, but they don't know where to start. They don't have the confidence. They're scared, or maybe they did start and they gave up because it's easy to give up, like you talked earlier about giving up. So
It
that's kind of what
is.
we want to
It
now tie
is.
all to kind of come back to full circle to rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it can be tough. We've all, especially for the men watching and listening, I'm sure we've all been rejected by women. It's just, it happens. It's just part of the game, guys. I hate to say it, but it is. If you're gonna, unless you're really extremely lucky or celebrity or something, you're gonna have rejection. So we all had to deal. Daniel's had to deal with it. I've had to deal with it. It's just, and it does actually make you stronger, believe it or not. Maybe not at first, might not seem like it, but you do get stronger. It affects you less, and you can overcome it. And I was even a buddy of mine. This was maybe a month ago. There was this girl at his gym. He really wanted to ask her out, and he kind of kept maybe making some excuses, but he had some decent reasons as well, and also just didn't see her sometimes. But he finally
Mm-hmm.
asked her out, and I told him, like, man, if you ask her out, even if she says no, you're gonna feel so much better afterwards because you'll know, and you did it. And he did. He's like, yep, I survived. She was politely said no, and we're still kind of friends at the gym. I'm like, there you go. See, it's not going to be the end of the world. Um, and then when women get rejected all the time too. I'm sure probably more than you and I even know, Daniel. So
No shame in getting rejected, guys. It's just part of life.
and also let me say this before I forget. I would say that in the dating arena, it might not seem like it, but about 90% of the time, it's probably nothing to do with you. It's probably more of a them issue. It's something else that's out of your control. Unless you're just being really weird or I don't know, aggressive or inappropriate or something, it's probably not. It's might not even be you. So
No, that's really on point, Shane. I recently read that somewhere, that people's opinion of you is just a reflection of how they see themselves.
wow, damn, that's kind of deep. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It is, and it also hit me really, really, really hard because I was thinking that it was my problem, that I had to make the
Personal.
changes, that and I was the one that was being attacked, but it's actually them, and they're trying to, like I said, they're portraying their own insecurities
Yes.
in you.
Yeah,
And
that's why bullies are bullies because they don't like something about themselves. So they're gonna literally beat up physically or emotionally on you because they don't like themselves. That's literally what bullies are. That's all it is.
right, right. And I think I read somewhere in there also that it has to do with insecurity. At the end of the day, these
Of course.
people that are like trash talking you and saying bad things
Mhm.
about you are
Yep.
the ones that are the most afraid and insecure.
That's a good point. I'm glad you said that because now and today, with Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, all the digital social media, there's so much. Luckily, you and I are not in school anymore. We don't have to didn't have to grow up with that. But people who are in their like teenage years, middle school, high school, they deal with a lot of cyber bullying and
Cyberbullying.
what's the word, intimidation and whatnot. I can't imagine being a parent of a kid like that or being a kid in that situation. But remember, guys, guys and girls, it's not you, it's them.
Hmm.
They have a problem, and they like their life sucks, and they're making you the punching bag. So just remember that.
It's just how someone that's afraid tends to react. Behind all this
Yeah,
resentment and anger is fear. And that was also something that made a big impression on me because I wasn't expecting that.
and I forget where I read or heard this, but do you know what the opposite of love is? It's not
Opposite
hate.
of love.
It's not hate. It's fear.
Right. See? So it
Mhm.
basically resonates with what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly. So
Interesting.
yeah, so when you get rejected, just I know it's easier said than done, and it comes with time, with uh, just more times and age and wisdom, but you'll take it less and less personally. And especially for me, I don't know about you, but when I've asked out women and they say no, I'm much happier I asked them out than if I didn't, because I beat myself up more if I don't ask them out
Mm.
later that night or the next day, or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
and, and also I want to say for the men out there, when you get, I guess for ladies too, but for the men, when you get rejected, be classy, be cool, guys. Just say, hey, no problem. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. Or just make a joke. Like, if she says she has a boyfriend, say, oh, that's fine. He can come too. Might be awkward, but, you know, or something like that. Just make light of it. And it's not the end of the world. So,
Yeah. It's never a big deal. You're making it a big deal in your head. You're overthinking it.
and the
At the
other
end of
tap
the
is, oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying that at the end of the day, the only person that can reject you is yourself.
Mhm.
So if you're making it a big deal, it's because you don't feel good about yourself, and that's why you take the rejection personally.
Oh, yes. That's getting deep, but it's true.
So just move on with your day. And if you this is something that I always think about, how it all has to do with our perception of how we see reality. And so if you see reality, if you see your world as something abundant, something that you have a lot to offer, and the world reciprocates in the same way, if you live in that reality, then what's one woman? What's one rejection?
Yep.
You don't care. You could not care less because you are not focused on getting anything out of that person. You are actually offering that person your time, your presence, and they are the ones that should be grateful for what you're trying to do there. If they don't appreciate it, then it's not on you, it's on them.
Mhm.
Of course, like Shane talked about, this has taken us years to really understand.
Embody this.
And I wish we could have shortcut this
Yep.
process.
Yep.
And I wish I knew this when I was younger,
Yep.
but it takes time. And even now, I get rejected. And I'm not gonna lie, those rejections still sting a little bit, but I move on quickly or quicker than I used to. And that's what makes the difference. I don't ruminate on the rejection anymore like I used to, or beat myself up over it. I just move on. And again, going back to the abundance perspective,
Yes.
I ask myself, like, what's one rejection when I have so many things that I'm grateful for today? This is nothing because I know that tomorrow there is going to be thousands of other opportunities, women, jobs,
Friendships.
deals, whatever it is, relationships.
Mhm.
They're just waiting for me because it's how I see reality, is how my perspective works. So it all comes down to perspective. You create your reality. Your thoughts create your world.
And your thoughts become your belief. Well, thoughts and beliefs are tied together. So your thoughts
Exactly.
your thoughts influence your beliefs. So
Yes.
one thing I wanted to mention, I got to get better at this too, but think about if you get rejected by that girl or that guy today, think about 5 years, 3, even 1 year from now. Is it really going to matter? Probably not. You might not even remember it. There's girls that have rejected me. I forgot their names, you know? So it's look at the grand scheme of things. It's not, it sucks now, but it won't matter down the road.
Right.
So, and
But we go ahead.
another thing I wanted to mention was going back a little bit. If, and again, this is stuff that both Daniel and I are working on, daily. If someone rejects you or you get turned down or you lose or whatever it might be, and you're taking it personally or you're having a rough time or you maybe get defensive or combative or something, that's not good, but it's kind of a gift in a way because that's telling you that maybe I need to look in the mirror and there's something there that you need to work on or fix or address, whether it's with introspection, meditation, therapy, friends,
Mhm.
family. There's obviously something there, you know.
It all comes back to you, like I said. It's just a reflection,
Yeah,
of who you
it's
are.
almost like a boomerang or bouncing a ball off a wall or something. Yeah,
Yes.
there
Yes.
there's a good analogy that I like. Picture like I don't know, a Spartan or like a gladiator warrior, right?
Hmm.
He's got his like his armor and his helmet and his weapon, and he's all like muscular and he's ready to go for battle. And this little girl comes up to him and goes, "Why are you wearing that? That helmet looks stupid on you.
Hmm.
What do you think he's gonna do? He's probably gonna just be like, oh, you're a cute little girl,' or just laugh, or just walk away. But if he's like, well,
Hmm.
no, your hair's stupid, like, no. If he does that, then wow, he's got some real issues, right? If he's really okay with himself and he knows his reality says, no, 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 this helmet's great. It protects me. It's awesome. I'm a
Hmm.
great gladiator. I'm gonna go battle this person, this lion. That little girl is not gonna affect him at all. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. So rejection should be that for you. Rejection should be just a learning curve.
it should just bounce off you like Superman. And again, sometimes it's gonna hit, it's gonna hurt. That's it's not it's not perfect, but
That
it
that
really
that should
comes down.
be that's best case scenario. Like,
That's true. That's best case scenario. I guess I should. There's going to be times when you do get hurt, and you're going to be hurt, and that's also okay. But
it's okay.
it,
It's
it
okay.
but it
It,
all comes down to only you are responsible for your happiness. No one else is. Just you.
it's and again, Shane and I both agree that it's easier said than done, and it
Oh yeah,
requires a lot of practice, and you're
this is
gonna get
Dave.
rejected a lot. So just expect the rejection, but don't linger on it.
I think the most important part is to be honest. Um, I mean, it's all how you deliver it as well. But I mean, what are your experiences with rejection people? It can actually be just as tough as being rejected, in my experience.
But see, this is the beauty of knowing that nobody can reject you unless you do it first.
Mm,
So at the end of the day, if everybody understands this principle,
mm.
then it doesn't really matter if you're rejecting people or if they are rejecting you, because nobody's taking it personal. Everybody's just going about their days normally. See, at the end of the day, it's not taking it personal and just understanding that rejection is normal. Yes, it might sting a little bit, but it has nothing to do with you. It's them. And so again, rejection is going to happen to everyone.
Yes.
And the more we improve ourselves, like I've noticed in myself, the more I level up my skills, my personality, my charisma, there are certain people that I don't allow in my circle anymore because I don't have the time of the day for people that are below me. And it sounds selfish, but it is what it is. And if I want to improve, I need to look at people that are at a higher level, at a higher frequency than myself. We become the people we surround ourselves with the most. And I encourage you, all of you guys, to find people that are already doing the things that you want to do in the future. Try to link up to these people. Try to even pay them so that you can work with them, because that's how you're going to become them. You're going to learn from them. So a lot of my friends are the ones that used to be my friends. If they are not working on themselves and leveling up just as much as I do, they're going to be left behind. And that's their problem. They need to realize for themselves that they are not moving on with their lives. And so rejection is going to happen naturally because they're going to see me as somebody different, and of course they're also not going to be they're not going to be happy to be with me because I'm talking about all these things, these businesses, these new ideas, and they're like, who is this guy? I don't even know him anymore. Because we used to talk about, women, and we used to talk about sex and all these other things in the past, but now he's trying to teach us meditation. What's that? So see, people change, and that's why rejection is just part of life. And if you're not in the same frequency, like I said, with these other people, then it's fine that you don't hang out anymore. And again, the more the better you become as a person, the more opportunities for you to, well, not opportunities, but the more you're going to be rejecting people. And you have to, because you need to set boundaries for the people that you allow into your life.
Yeah.
So
Because if you're rejecting somebody, it means you're respecting yourself because you have values, you have standards.
exactly. And
Yeah.
they can't take it I mean, they will take it personal if they don't understand this principle.
Yes.
And that's a shame, but it is what it is.
And sometimes it's just mismatch of vibes. People just don't.
Exactly.
Dating,
We
friendships, networking, business doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Not everybody's going to be your friend. Not everybody's going to be your wife or girlfriend or husband or what have you.
Mhm.
One more thing I wanted to kind of mention, kind of relating to what you just said, is kind of the opposite of rejection, but going when you said, trying to surround yourself with people who can level you up and help you and make
Mhm.
you better in some way or another. This is something I wish I learned a long time ago, realized a long time ago. I was kind of stubborn. And when it comes to like making friends, for example, I'd be like, well, I'm kind of shy. They should come talk to me. Or I don't want to talk to them. They should talk to me.
Mhm.
But after a while, I was like, no, screw that. I would start to people, or I would go for what I want. I'd say, hey, let's grab lunch. And then it would turn into a friendship, and
Awesome,
things
man.
like that.
Excellent.
And then that turns into other things and other people, and it just snowballs. Go for what you want.
Correct. Correct. Yes, man. You choose your friends. Don't wait for them to come to you. Usually, these people that you look up to are already living their best lives. It's your responsibility to seek out for those people, seek out their advice, seek out their friendship.
Yeah, if you want to like get in better shape, and you might meet someone who's, I don't know, a good, like a gym rat. Try to friend them up and get their number,
Yep.
pick their brain, go to the
Yep.
gym with them, things like that.
Yep. Yep.
And they might teach you, hey, I can be your spotter, or I can show you some cool workouts, and boom, you're off to the races. So
Yeah, man. Yes.
cool,
So
Daniel.
so
This was
and
good. Go ahead.
yeah, it's been great. And that's why I always recommend this book. That's why it's so important to develop our social skills.
Yes,
There is this one guy that said that that's the most important skill any man should have, the ability to make friends. And it's a skill. I didn't know that. It's a skill to know how to socialize and build relationships and make friends is
yep.
something that you develop also.
Build charisma. Work on your just social skills, communication, being friendly, being being a curious person, having charisma, and that's going to translate for dating as well. But just good with your career and make you more friends. It'll also strengthen the friendships that you have. You know, it's just it just snowballs from there. So,
Yes,
Daniel, my
sir.
man, this was great. Any
This was great.
thoughts?
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, your audio is kind of getting bad, but what? Any final thoughts?
Fix it. Let me fix it. Is it better now?
Yeah, that's good. So,
Okay.
Daniel, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Just embrace rejection. Don't
Mm,
take it personal. Know that it's gonna happen. Anticipate it and keep on going.
yes. And everybody out there, you might think, what the hell is he talking about? Embrace rejection? It's true.
Love rejection, if you will. I know that might be a little difficult.
This is even extreme, but go out there and get rejected. Like it's
Mhm.
almost like building up calluses or your muscles. Like they get worn down and rip and tear, but then they get stronger when they come back.
That's why
That's what
I remember. I don't know if you remember, Shane, but I told you once that you should go out there and expect the rejection and actually go
yeah,
for the
yeah.
rejection rather than expecting the nice outcome.
And that can lead into expectations, which we can talk about next time. But yeah, my final thoughts are just if I just have one, if you take one thing from this whole episode, go for what you want. That's my best advice.
Awesome, man. That's epic, epic.
Well, man.
Thank you. Nice talking to
Okay,
you, man.
buddy. You too, man. And we'll see everybody later. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.